What's up, guys?
Alex here.
Today, we're breaking down a topic that literally pulled my finances out of a nosedive and allowed me to level up.
When I first started thinking about financial independence, I didn't have a six-figure salary, a trust fund, or some secret hack. What I did have was debt, a habit of making impulse buys, and that constant question at the end of the month, where did all my money go?
But in 18 months, I managed to stack my first $10,000. And here's the kicker. I didn't turn into a cheapskate, I didn't stop enjoying life, and I didn't live on ramen and water. I simply implemented 5 habits. Today, I'm going to break them down for you with specific examples, pro tips, and a plan to make them work for you starting today. If you're ready to take hard control of your money without the stress, let's get into it. Habit number 1. The 24-hour rule versus impulse junk. Let's start with what kills most budgets: spontaneous spending. I used to walk into a hardware or tech store just to look and come out with a trunk full of gear.
Or I'd fall down an online shopping rabbit hole late at night and wake up to a confirmation email with that slight sting of regret. Do I even need this?
Sound familiar?
That's when I started the 24-hour rule. It's simple. If you see something you didn't plan to buy that costs more than, say, $30 to $50, you wait exactly 24 hours. Don't delete it from your cart. Just close the tab. Let your brain cool down.
What does this do?
First, it kills the dopamine spike. Often, we aren't buying the item, we're buying the temporary high of owning something new. Second, it triggers logic.
You start asking, do I actually need this for work? Or am I just tired and trying to buy a mood boost?
The result? In 8 out of 10 cases, I realized the next day that I didn't actually want the thing. How to start? Set your limit. Any purchase above this amount requires a pause. Keep a want list. Write down the items and check back in a week. Ask yourself, how often will I actually use this in real life? This habit alone saved me hundreds of bucks a month. Seriously. Habit number 2. Pay yourself first. The foundation. I used to live by the standard formula. Get paid, pay rent and bills, spend on life, and then try to save whatever is left at the end of the month. How much was usually left? Usually, 0. So I flipped the script. Now, the very first payment I make every month is to myself. I set up an auto transfer. 10 to 20% of any income goes straight to a separate savings account the second my paycheck hits. No debates, no negotiating with myself. This is the pay yourself first principle. It changes the game. Why it works? 1. Out of sight, out of mind. If you don't see it in your main balance, you don't plan to spend it. 2. Savings become a priority, not an afterthought. After a couple of months, you adapt to living on the remainder and barely notice a difference in your lifestyle. How to start? Open a separate high-yield savings or investment account. Set an auto transfer for payday, even if it's just $20 to start. Gradually raise the bar from 5% to 15–20%. Don't wait for better times. Start small, but start today. Habit number 3. Low-friction expense tracking. Whenever people talked about budgeting, I imagined soul-crushing spreadsheets and shoeboxes full of receipts. That was a total turnoff for me. But I found a method that's fast and effective. I don't track every cent I spend on coffee. Once a week, I take 10 minutes, open my banking app, and look at 2 things. 1. Where did the bulk of my money go this week? 2. Were there any trash expenses that I regret? That's it. This simple practice gave me a crystal clear view of the map.
I spotted the leaks. Wow, I'm spending way too much on takeout. Or why am I paying for 3 subscriptions I haven't opened in months? Instead of beating myself up, I just course correct for the following week.
How to start.
Use what's easy, a banking app or simple notes on your phone.
Set aside 10 minutes on Sunday night.
Focus on the trend, not the pennies. Where is your main resource going? A budget isn't a cage. It's your strategy.
Habit number 4, quitting the comparison trap. This is pure psychology, and it's probably the toughest one.
You scroll through your feed and see one guy has a new car, another is on a tropical island, a third is flexing a new watch.
Subconsciously, it starts to itch. I need to catch up, right?
The result?
Impulse spending on status that you can't actually afford yet.
I realized that social media is a highlight reel, not real life.
You see the facade, but you don't see the debt, the leases, or the stress behind the scenes.
Now, before a status purchase, I ask, am I buying this because I need the function or because I want to impress people I don't even like?
How to start.
Clean your feed. Unfollow accounts that make you feel inadequate.
Follow people who talk about investing and real business, not fake it till you make it.
Do a digital detox. One day without scrolling and the urge to spend drops significantly. Your financial journey is your own marathon. Don't try to outrun people on a different track.
Habit number 5, the joy budget. No guilt.
Finally, I stopped labeling my spending as good or guilty.
I used to buy a new game or go out for drinks, and then a voice in my head would nag, "You're supposed to be saving. You're blowing it."
That created massive tension.
And tension always leads to a burnout where you eventually say, screw it, and go on a spending binge.
The solution is a joy fund.
Every month, I set aside a fixed amount, say $50, for whatever makes me happy.
Carding, a new book, a gadget, 0 regrets.
This isn't a weakness. It's maintenance for your mental health. When you don't feel deprived, it's 10 times easier to stay the course on your long-term goals.
How to start.
Determine a joy amount that won't break your budget. Put it in your plan as a mandatory expense.
Spend it with total permission and 0 guilt.
Financial freedom is about choice, not a prison sentence of restrictions.
Let's recap the 5 habits that got me my first $10,000.
1. The 24-hour rule. 2. Pay yourself first.
3. Weekly review.
4. No comparison.
5. The joy budget.
Don't try to do it all at once.
Pick the one habit that hit home for you today.
Test it for 2 weeks, then add the next one.
Remember, wealth is built on discipline and small, consistent actions. If this was helpful, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's get our finances in order together.
And drop a comment. Which habit are you struggling with most right now?
Or share your own proven way to save.
I read all the comments and try to get back to everyone. I've left a link to a free habit tracker in the description. Go grab it.
Your first 10K is closer than it looks. Just keep taking the steps.
See you in the next one.